Hi everyone, it's me Olivia, aka Story Minded. Sorry, I just completely shook the camera there. Not even camera, phone. I just wanted to make a really quick video about To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, which I recently finished. I have to say, I've never really read much of Virginia Woolf's works, although I've sort of read, I think the only sort of little bit I read was an extract from Mrs. Dalloway, and back when I was working at college in the English department, a lot of my colleagues really, they said, oh, you have to read Virginia Woolf, you'll really like her writing, oh, Mrs. Dalloway, I think one of my colleagues, Mrs. Dalloway was their all-time favourite novel. But I went on the Penguin website, and took a quiz, because they have all those fun quizzes oh, what's your next read going to be? Take this quiz and we'll recommend a book for you. And this is the one that came up, because I sort of wanted to go for a book that had a bit more reflection, and I quite enjoy books that have reflective elements sort of weaved into them. And To the Lighthouse came up, and when I first started reading it, it was very, very heavy going, and I thought to myself, am I actually going to get through this book? But I was determined to, and I'm so glad that I stuck with it. I really, really enjoyed it. It's sort of split into 3 parts, and there's an amazing structural change throughout the novel. It might not even be a novel. It might be, sorry, I don't think it is a novel. It's more likely a novella, if it's a novella, or shorter, because it's very short story. And there's a bit, the part 2, where it changes, and it's written in 3rd person, but it's, even if something's written in 3rd person, a particular character's voice can really seep through into that 3rd person sort of, I can't use words today. It's sort of, even though it's written in 3rd person, sometimes a character's voice can come through really strongly, and it sort of guides the narration. And when it went into for the first part of the book, that is Mrs. Ramsay, who's the mother of and she's the head of the household, and she's the mother of all the children that you learn about. But in part 2, spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, I would give you some time to just stop watching this video now. Part 2, she dies, and I actually was able to work this out because there was a massive shift in the structure, and it was her voice was lost, and it was incredible. And I just thought, because it doesn't sort of reveal it until nearer the end of part 2, but I just thought, oh my god, as I was reading it, I was like, Mrs. Ramsay, she's dead, she's gone, because all the reflective, there's so much reflection and so much questioning that is Mrs. Ramsay's coming through, and I was just like, nope, she's gone. This whole voice has just been completely twisted. It was really clever, and I really enjoyed it. I can't really give you much information or sort of a brief overview of what the plot of this story is, because it's I think it's a very simple concept, but it's done in such a complex way, it's hard to sort of put into words. I think mainly what I got from it was this whole idea of almost not history repeating itself, but a generational, there's a battle of generations in this book, and there's a lot to do with children not wanting to be like their parents, and a lot of resentment that can be born from childhood. And this whole sort of story is around just this, To the Lighthouse. This is a journey that this the youngest, I think it's the youngest child, god, I can't remember his name now, one of the children really wanted to go to the lighthouse, and then his father's quite authoritarian and stuff, and he's no, you're not going, and he's quite pessimistic, and he's oh, the weather's not going to be good, you can't go to the lighthouse. And it's sort of this resentment that continues throughout the book, and a lot of broken dreams and things not going to plan, and it's really good. I really recommend it. If you want a bit more of a challenging read, then I definitely recommend this book. and I'm currently reading my first ever Cecilia Ahern book that I've always wanted to read her as an author because all her books sound really interesting. I'm struggling slightly with it in the sense that there's a lot of overtelling, but I like the idea enough to keep giving the book a go. But if I don't enjoy it, I'm probably going to just leave that one and stop, which is such a shame. It's really disappointing because I was really looking forward to reading some Cecilia Ahern, but we'll just have to see how that one goes. And yesterday I added to my 712 more things to write about. I just haven't uploaded any of those videos yet, but anyway, just wanted to do an update on the most recent book I've read and just sort of give it as a recommendation. I really enjoyed it and I'd like to read more Virginia Woolf's works in the future. Anyway, if anyone's watched this, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the books you're reading and good luck with any of your writing projects. Bye.